You heard it.
It is painful, I tell you, but the Red Sox
gotta
beat
do
the
what you
Blue
gotta
Jays
do,
tonight,
right?
and the Yankees won, so we're on the game back behind the Blue Jays. So it's the only time I can root for the Red Sox. It's painful though.
That never seems to work out well whenever you root for your rivals, because some way somehow they're gonna still get you guys in the end. There was a couple times there we were hoping the Saints would win and they lost, and vice versa. The Falcons were supposed to win, they lost to get you in the playoffs. Like,
And
we
y'all
didn't
were
know
hoping
in the playoffs.
the Falcons needed the Saints to beat the Bucks in the last game of the season last year. Then the Falcons couldn't even beat the Panthers.
Yeah, well, there it is. Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, we're not gonna talk about that now.
All right, let's do it.
We are here. Another edition of Talkin Sports 12th Man. It is a Tuesday night, September the 23rd. We got all four of us here. As Rob said, our pro teams are a little battered, but the college teams are undefeated. So that's totally here right now, man. We're licking our wounds, but we are here to be that. What is it? We're kind of like the therapy session that you guys need, man. So let's talk some sports, and let's do what we got to do. Let's put it on the horn. JQ, how you feel this evening, sir?
I've been better if we hadn't lost to shitty ass Pirates, but here I am. Thanks to Cincinnati. After just a horrible Sunday against the Vikings, but it's still one game back. But tomorrow, I think it's must see TV. I'm pretty sure it's Kings versus Hunter Green. So that's going to be a good pitching match. Hopefully, not too good, but on paper, that's a good match. I'm sorry, America, I couldn't be here last week. I was exhausted. Traveling back from I didn't work. I was exhausted. So I appreciate y'all giving me some grace. I'm good.
You were definitely missed. How is the mic? Does my mic sound okay, guys, first and foremost, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And Rob's got a full picture.
Yeah. You were missed. And obviously, we just love a lot of your rants, JQ, because it keeps us honest. And it's just a great perspective for sure. Rob Ford, how you feeling, sir?
Man, doing good, man. I mixed up the vegetables today. Had asparagus for lunch with some amazing veal, and tonight had some salmon and broccoli. And, man, it's good, man. Ready to talk some sports. Yanks only a game back. You gotta have something you can root for, because the Saints suck ass. 0-3. Excuse my French.
Oh man,
But it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Gotta have something you can root for.
That's okay.
And go Tigers.
That's all right. Gary, how you feeling this evening, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good. I'm a couple of days after the NFL slaughtering of all of our teams and our text messages back and forth, and but I'm feeling better. I'm not feeling optimistic, but I'm feeling better.
Hey, JQ, you missed it last week. Gary actually gave Dak Prescott a compliment. We actually put the date in history that he actually gave Dak a compliment. He did not crush. He was like, oh, we were like, Rob, so we got to put this date down until September.
Wow, yes, we do. That is not something that happens on a regular basis. Okay.
We thought lightning was going to strike or something like that, but it actually happened last week. But, yeah, we're here. Hey, let's have some fun. Let's get into this here, and just going to throw out a couple of whole things we always do. And if I get a little crazy, you give me a thumbs up or something like that if it sounds a little off on the mic too, because I haven't done anything differently, so I don't know. But again, follow us on Twitter, X at the number 12 THMEN Sports. Last but not least, like I said, we have fun on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Talkin Sports with the 12th Man. And then we are on our YouTube channel, another 12th Man Sports as well. So we have all those different avenues to follow us. And let's get this party started. So it feels like Tampa Bay just is lucky, but now they're starting to get these injuries are starting to pile up. And Mike Evans is the next one to go. And let's kind of talk about this. He's out multiple weeks. But again, it's like, don't cry for me, Argentina, because, Mbuku's playing well, right? So he kind of steps into that number one role. He's ready. I got to see whenever they're going to get Chris Godwin back. But
supposedly this week.
Yeah, I heard that was the case. But yeah, and then Baker Mayfield, man, just keeps making making decisions. They keep surviving by the skin of the chins. But what do you say about that? And it's pretty significant injury for Mike Evans. But the Bucs keep winning. They're 3-0 in the division, Rob. So you can take that first if you want.
Yeah, and give them credit. I mean, I know these were all three last-second wins, but hey, that's what good teams do. They find a way to win, in those clutch situations, right? And so you get the first two games they won were on the road. I didn't expect them to have a tough game like they did with the Jets. I thought they were going to beat them pretty handily. But I don't think we've seen the best of this football team yet, right? I know they're going to be without Mike Evans. Not sure what Chris Godwin is going to look like coming off an injury, but all indications are he's got a chance to play this week. And it looked like they might get Tristan Wirfs back this week too, right? And Tristan Wirfs, man, for those of you all that are watching our show, I mean, Tristan Wirfs may be one of the best tackles in the game when he's healthy. And so that's a big-time addition for the Tampa Bay Bucs. And it looks like they're going to run away with the NFC South. Yet again, I think this will be the fifth straight time they will win a division. They're the team that's set up for success the most. And, Todd Bowles does enough with that defense. I don't think they have a ton of huge playmakers, but I think he does enough. He schemes well to keep them in games to win. Historically, they're not going to give up a lot of points with Todd Bowles as the head coach and with his defensive philosophy as well. And, I mean, they're just set up for success. And when they get all three of those receivers healthy, man, look out. With Igbuka, I mean, I said that when they drafted him, man. I know Mike Evans may be slowly going down, but they might have a year or two period where they can take advantage of all three of those receivers together. And so look out when they get hot. I mean, I don't think they're a favorite to go to the Super Bowl, but they can certainly contend. And I think on any given day, you never know what can happen. But they can definitely be a team that makes it to the Final Four in the NFC.
Yeah, you talk about it, and quietly, I mean, he's not necessarily a household name, but when Sterling Shepard is your number 4, like you go back and look at Sterling Shepard put up some good numbers in New York before he moved on to Tampa, and he's going to get all the same coverage he can handle because Mike is going to probably be back in a couple of weeks. They said he's not going to be here 4 weeks, so he's not going to put him on the IR. But to your point, you get Godwin back, you get Wirfs back. I know they lost, I think, another guard and their center, so they had all kind of people moved around. They still are finding, like you said.
When they moved their center to left tackle with Wirfs out.
Yeah.
What's the guy name? He's from Duke, and at Duke he played center guard and tackle.
Which is crazy.
Drawing a blank on his name. First round pick for the Bucs a year or two ago.
But my thing is you put him back in his natural spot when you get Wirfs back. So it's almost like getting 2 people back because you get your best center back going to play the position that you drafted him to play, right? Yeah. So I agree. You wanted to. I thought it would be the Falcons and the Bucs. I don't know if you can write off the Falcons quite yet because you watched them do a demolition job on Minnesota, and then you watch Minnesota do a demolition job on Cincinnati, and it's like, what the hell is going on? But so I'm not gonna write them off quite yet, even though that was ugly against Carolina. That was ugly. But if you talk about that defense, you can talk about Vita Vea still in the middle. I believe they still got Levante David, the linebacker. You got Antoine Wilson in the back end, so they have a player on every level on the defense. It's not an overwhelming shut you down defense, but I think they've got enough playmakers, on every level to at least keep them in the game. And when you kind of offense we talked about with Cincinnati, you don't have to have a top 5 defense. You just have to have a defense that ain't gonna get you murdered and give up 35, 40 points every week. If they the kind of games they're playing right now are the kind of games they're gonna have to win, but they're showing you they can win those kind of games.
Mm-hmm. Even shorthanded, even with moving their offensive line around, even moving their receivers around, whatever they got to do. And then it was what 3 years ago on this podcast, we were trash talking Baker Mayfield up one side, and especially me down the other. And like Rob's alluded to several times, is sometimes these quarterbacks go to a different team and new environment and resurrect their careers. And man, he's done just that.
Yeah, we talked about it. Kevin O'Connell, I remember him saying it. He says NFL teams fail quarterbacks all the time. A lot of times it's because of the fan bases give up on the quarterbacks. The teams feel like they have to give up on the quarterbacks too, right? Hey, I can guarantee you Cleveland wish they would have kept Baker Mayfield at this point, right?
Yeah.
They wish they would still have Baker Mayfield. You can argue the Jets wish they would still have Sam Darnold. Even the return of the Mac Jones, first round pick, played well the last couple of games, right?
Oh yeah,
So some
yeah.
of these first round picks, man, every quarterback is just not going to be successful in their first year. I mean, you see Bears fans want to give up on Caleb Williams already in year 2, right? And you see a lot of these Daniel Jones.
I was
All of
going
a
to say
sudden,
that was the guy I was going to talk about, Daniel Jones. Believe it or not, that
top
was
10 pick. All of a sudden,
yeah,
he's looking like a first round pick. But
yeah, yeah.
teams get impatient, fans get impatient, and they move on from these guys. And some things just click 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years down the road for some of these guys. Look, go back to Rich Gannon, right? Rich Gannon was almost 30 years old before he got it
Right.
going in his career.
It's also the organizations.
Yeah.
Think about what those organizations they were. Think about where they're thriving, and thinking about the talent around them. Yeah, you're Baker. You're in Cleveland. He didn't have them kind of weapons. In Carolina, you didn't have them kind of weapons. You go to Tampa and inherit Tom Brady's team. What? You got a good left tackle in Worst. You got a solid defensive tackle in Bayer. You got a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And then you got Chris Godwin. Then you give him a bouquet. Then you give him a 2-pronged rushing attack with Bucky Irving. Like, he's got weapons, so it's a lot easier to succeed when you go to an organization with a plan that's drafting well and putting structure around you,
and then play to the guy, and then play to the guy's strengths.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the big thing.
And I was going to say too, Daniel Jones was the guy I was going to highlight, because it's crazy, because you wish now that you were kind of looking at, we're like, Daniel Jones is the prototype. We wish that we were like. And I think confidence has something to do with that too, because Shane Steichen is now looking like a great coach, right? And all he did was swap out Anthony Richardson for Daniel Jones.
And not just that, though. You get Taylor to stay healthy. You draft Tyler Warren. Alec Pierce.
Tyler Warren is balling out of his ass, out of his mind. So,
but the coach got a good offensive line. He never had that in his house.
You already had the structure.
And he's got multiple weapons out there. Who knew if you gave a quarterback offensive line of good weapons, he might succeed?
Jonathan Taylor is running over people. You're looking at this team like, and then we talked about it, Rob. You said it earlier, how, just maybe, this is the time he's been in the league. He got drafted number 6 overall in 2019, and he's finally figuring it out, right? He finally has the confidence to go to, hey, Shane, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. Let's kind of build a game plan for you. So now he has so much confidence going into this game. He is throwing strikes. He's got enough man, this is a totally different looking Colts team from last year.
And now, not everybody is built to play in New York.
Say it again, JQ.
Not everybody's built to play in New York, whether it's football, baseball, basketball. New York is a different animal, and maybe he just wasn't built to play in New York.
Yeah.
Same with
Aaron Rodgers.
No, that went to Seattle now.
Sam Darnold. Absolutely. Yeah. The media in Indianapolis is going to be a lot more lovey-dovey than New York, right?
New York, they're rough on you in New York.
Yeah.
And not only do you have all the social media in New York, you still have all the regular old-fashioned papers that people are watching and looking, and you see your picture up there in some smear campaign. So you can't hardly even ignore it in that city.
It's hard. New York's a tough place.
So
I want to backtrack to Tampa Bay. We were talking about their receiving core. They don't have Jalen McMillan too, and he was having a good year last year as a number 3. So when he gets healthy, man, that's another weapon they have. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that reminder. Yeah,
listen, Sterling Shepard better get his numbers up because he's over there out.
Whenever you have a plan.
Yeah.
The second topic is pretty interesting. Will Shedeur start a game this season? And this is something that Deion Sanders has publicly predicted, right? That he'll start at some point this season. But I think a lot of things have to go wrong.
It's not up to Deion.
Flacco or Gabriel would have to be injured, replaced, or something. I mean, this is a really we know that the Browns didn't want to get Shedeur. I mean, but literally World War III has to happen, some disaster for Shedeur to start. That's what I believe.
I need Deion to be cool. Like I want him to succeed. Listen, I don't want you to succeed in Cleveland, but I'm rooting for that young man, but somewhere else. But these beyond you, like you're not helping them. Just worry about Colorado, bro. Just worry about Colorado. Don't get in there and do that. You know what I mean? Like, because now you're putting it back on him, and it's like, bro, he's a third string quarterback. I know that's your boy, and you love him, but sometimes you gotta let go. And you got a team that needs your full attention, sir. But to the question, I can see it because at some point, outside of this week, unless Joe gets on a tear where they are playing like the 2000 Ravens and where they're just winning games 13-10. At some point, when you're out of, after the bye week down there and you're 3-8 or whatever it is, you gotta go look at those two young guys and see if you got them or not, because it's not like you use the first round pick on them, right? Like, and you got draft capital for moving around in this draft. So you got to find out, do you have it in the building? It's not Joe Flacco no more. So you got to find out whether it's Gabriel Sanders. So I do think he starts a game this year. Because I just don't believe that Gabriel's going to go out there and do enough to keep him to where they're like, you know what, we got him in Gabriel. I don't even have to look at Shador. Like, I just don't think he's going to be that good. I didn't think he was that good coming out of school, transitioning into the pros. So long story short, I think he does start a game towards the end of the year when when the record starts to go, why are we still rolling out Joe Flacco in week 11?
Well, yeah, we won't. I mean, he's too brittle. He's old. He, with the beating that these quarterbacks take, it's easy for me to see Flacco going down. So then you bring in Dylan Gabriel, and after he throws, completes 45% of his passes and throws 3 picks, they're probably going to go and say, hey, maybe we should give this kid a try.
And he's
absolutely see that happen.
Like, you have to give him a chance. These dudes, if you watch the crowd, especially in the preseason, oh my God, they were going nuts when he was out there playing. So they want him to at least get a fair shake at being the guy. And
right.
I said it in week 1 when the Bengals barely squeaked that out. The Cleveland defense is really, really good. They are a quarterback away and probably another young wide receiver from being a whole problem. And I don't want to see it, but if you look at the way they play on defense, you get them another wide receiver to pair with Judy. And the way Junkins is running the ball, you got to find out. You draft them, you got to find out if the quarterback for the decade is in the building. So I think they both fish Gabriel.
Well, we got Richard with us tonight. He's out of the hospital. He's at home recovering, so he's obviously back. Thoughts and prayers were with you, Richard. I know you and I have kept in contact, but we appreciate you joining us on the show.
Welcome back, Richard. Glad you're doing better.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome.
But no, I agree with everything you guys have said. You guys basically took the words out of my mouth too. I firmly believe he gets a start or two, because at the end of the year you got to see what you have, and once they are officially eliminated from the playoffs, I mean, there's no need for you to be playing the 86-year-old Joe Flacco, right? He's not your future, and you want to. Dylan Gabriel's going to get a starter too. And Shadur's going to get a starter too, because they're going to see what they have in these guys. They want to see if there's somebody they can build around going forward, right? So they got to see what their investment look like going forward. Yeah, I mean, this Cleveland team, we've really got a good elite defense. They're not going to be able to score enough points to be competitive. So, I mean, some point, week 12, week 13, week 14, they'll be officially eliminated from the playoffs, and you got to go and see what you have in these guys going forward.
Yep.
So totally agree with what you guys said.
See if our teams are already officially eliminated.
We hope not. Now, the thing that
we hope not, but JQ's like going like this.
It's only like the 3rd week, so I mean, again, we're still.
A lot could change.
I mean, it's still early. I know we want to predict gloom and doom right now, but it is early. Now, obviously, there's a couple things that need to be adjusted, and that's kind of why we play the games. And I know fans, it's like we could be like, every week is like, oh my God, it's like the worst thing. But now it's like it's gonna be okay. Just I hate to use relax, but all good. And Richard, we appreciate you. I apologize. I had to get the chat showing to get all of your comments here. So again, go Linfield. We appreciate that. And just the last, piggyback on the statement. It's always I hope that Shedeur gets opportunity. I just don't know if the coaching staff wants him to be successful. I really, really hope that they will do the backing. If it's like, I just think a lot of things have to happen for that to be the case.
Well, the only way he's going to get that shot is if Dylan Gabriel goes in and, I mean, really stinks it up. They'll give him more of the benefit of the doubt for whatever reason.
Exactly. They want him
to be will Sanders for, which is stupid.
Yeah.
If they do that, then they are not reading the room.
I mean, I'm just saying, JQ.
They usually don't.
They didn't really want him. I mean, like
everyone's
rallying around Shedeur and all that fun stuff. And you talked about how Myles Garrett was like, yeah, that's my guy. But sometimes, coaching staffs can be a little stubborn. So,
Wow.
Anyway, let's keep this going here. Let's do a quick week 3 recap. And I guess, guys, if you want to kind of take the time to
I don't.
Maybe not, now is the time. So, JQ, you don't want to say anything, huh? No?
Well, the thing I'll touch on from week 3, I think for me, the game that was most intriguing was the Rams and the Eagles, right? And how the Eagles came back and pretty much just dominated that second half. I think they cemented themselves as still a clear favorite in the NFC, right? Jalen Hurts was clutch, down the stretch. Of course, Saquon Barkley had some good runs down the stretch as well. And then, of course, the Lions and the Ravens, right? Lions are going on the road.
Lions impressed me.
Lions impressed me too.
Last night.
Me too.
They beat the Ravens up in the trenches, right? They dominated the line of scrimmage. I mean, they ran the ball down the Ravens' throat on last night, right? So when you look at those to me, what the Eagles did in the second half and what the Lions did against the Ravens was very impressive to me. Those are the two teams. If I had a third one, maybe the Chargers.
Yeah.
Showing something down the stretch in a tight game against the Broncos, was able to overcome. They were down 20-13 and came back and won 23-20. Got some defensive stops there at the end of the game. Justin Herbert is so far 3 games probably having the best year of his career.
Yeah.
But as you all mentioned, it's just a small sample size thus far. So, we got to see if we can continue this. But so far, they may unseat the Chiefs as the division winner this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of still a little thunder, Rob, because that's definitely part of the top 5, if you will, as far as the teams here. And Gary, I agree with you. The Lions really impressed me too because we thought it'd be an interesting game. Obviously, Derrick Henry has continued to fumble. That's not good for the Ravens, but just the fact that the Lions are able to come in and just literally dominate and run all through them.
We jinxed him last week.
We did.
That's all we did is talk about. Well, he never fumbles.
Yeah,
he's not going to do.
I think he's lost 3 so far.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. It's
Guess
tough.
what? It's a concern right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
High and tight.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I had some stats on our teams, and I'm on each one of. I broke down each one of our teams and their monumental losses, and as I was reading through it, a little bit of vomit came up into my throat. So I'm not even going to talk about it because it's just horrible.
Yeah, I think the thing that disappointed me. I feel like my mic is running out. Is it still good, guys?
No, you're good.
Okay. The thing that disappointed me was just we were favorites going to Carolina, and it just felt like the Falcons looked unprepared, and that's not a good situation, especially for Raheem. This is a team we should have clearly beat, and plays like getting in on time, and just we look so dominant versus the Vikings, and I don't know what the hell happened. That's the thing that kind of frustrated us, and that's why we were like, we don't even trust what's happening. So I don't know what to think, man. Obviously, the Commanders are coming in.
And I was feeling the same way, Dre, when in our conversations last week about the Cowboys going in there. I was really feeling I picked them to win 31-17.
Yeah.
Man, you had the score close with the wrong team.
Right. And I think you had Chicago with a 1-point win.
Yeah.
Robert. And
Yeah.
I think Dre was about the same.
Yeah, it was same because we were thinking that, and Rob was the one that picked the Bears because he was like, yeah, the Ben Johnson that after that ass kicking, we were like, well, we don't know if we want to be the Cowboys, and you were like, yeah, I'm confident that we're going to handle the business, and Caleb was going to throw up some more interceptions, and Ben Johnson had him ready to go, and Caleb played pretty good, so you're like,
hey, our defense can make any quarterback look like an MVP.
Oh, it's just tough, man. It was just one of those games, and I don't know how to classify it, but
I got all of us tryouts, so I guess we can have Richard join us, and we'll be the nickelback.
Let's go.
Nickel package for the Cowboys.
Let's go. Yeah, we'll talk about it. All right, so I'm gonna go really quickly through my top 5 teams, and so far, and this can be, I'm sure there's gonna be some combination, but I've got the Eagles number 1. I've got the Bills number 2, the Lions, the Chargers, and the Colts. That's who I've got for my top 5, and that's kind of crazy how we would look at this. And you can probably do different combinations as far as you think is first. You may put the Lions at 1 or whatever, but that's kind of who I have so far. The 49ers are also undefeated, but I still think even though Shanahan feels like he's pushing his ass off, that's still a team that I can't believe they're still 3-0 right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. I have the Eagles number 1 as well. I just talked about them a little while ago. I actually got the Chargers number 2, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I just like what they've done so far this season on both sides of the football. I have the Bills number 3, and yes, number 4. I have Daniel Jones and the Colts 3-0, and number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I hate Tampa.
You think the Colts would? If they played Tampa on a neutral field tomorrow, you think the Colts would win that game?
That's a good one. That's a good one, JQ.
No.
Think about this.
Right now, yes.
Injuries.
Of course he is, because we said no. Of course he's going to say yes.
I'm gonna say, man, Colts are playing confident, man. I know we've already been down here. You and Gary owe us some nice dinner for me and Rob, but
y'all got lucky as hell. That's the worst. That is the worst.
That was a weird way to win a bet, but I'll take it.
That was awful.
JQ, Mike
Evans. Bottom line is, hey, JQ, when you're making these predictions, you got to think the home team's going to get a break of 3 in these games, and that's what we betted on. We betted on that break.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Confidence is big, JQ. I mean,
listen,
I've been surviving by the skin of the chinny chin. We've talked about this.
Oh, listen, you gotta give credit where credit is due. I mean, because again, if you guys be in position to take advantage of those breaks too, right? Like you can't get a break and be down 17 points and it don't matter. So you gotta give them credit for being in that game, and they put a lot more points on that bonded different defense than I thought they would.
Yeah, more than the Chargers did. Yeah.
I think you gotta put the Chargers up there with the way they're playing ball, just to me below Buffalo and Philly. It's hard to keep Green Bay ahead of these other undefeated teams, but I still feel like Green Bay is going to be a problem. I think they just took Cleveland for granted.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Games, we just put our uniform on, go out there and win, and you look up and be in a fight. San Francisco just had a really nice, soft start to this season, so I'm not super. With Arizona, New Orleans, and who did play week 1?
Seattle.
So I'm not.
Seattle was a tough one.
I think Seattle was going to be better than what we think they are. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah. I think always play them well, though. So that's interesting.
Sam Darnold's going to do Sam Darnold things.
That's what you're worried about. That's what you're worried about, right? You're like,
Seattle's offensive line is a lot better. Their running game, man. We saw last week how they just ran the ball down the Steelers' throat.
They did.
And the Steelers couldn't stop them. And so their offensive line, running game, when they have Walker and Charbonnet healthy, look out. I Charbonnet, I think, is going to be back this week. And Jackson Smith and Jigba is off to a really good start this year. He's playing well at the receiver position. Torrey Horton was a pleasant surprise for them from Colorado State.
Yep.
He's making big plays in the return game and at the receiver position. And and their defense is playing well. McDonald obviously is a defensive guy, and so they're a team to watch. In my opinion, they're a team to watch. I think they're better than where we thought they were probably been before the season.
Yeah, I just I think I have to put the Bucks in there due to their record. But the Rams are 2-1 and the Packers are 2-1.
Yeah.
Sneaky. You don't really want to play them.
No, you don't.
Real quick, I've got the Bills, the Chargers, the Eagles, Detroit, and then Green Bay.
Nice. Okay.
I can go with that. Even though I will put the Bucks at 5 because I'm gonna give them respect for winning games.
Yep.
At the end, it may not always be pretty. They're still 3-0.
Yeah.
They find a way to win games.
And
they were my honorable mention.
Green Bay has lost their only road game, so I mean, got to give the Bucks the credit for that.
Good stuff. Let's see. Are the Eagles the favorites to get back to the Super Bowl? I mean, right now it appears that way. I know that the Lions are the darling. I'm super impressed with the Lions, honestly. So that would be a good challenge, if you will. But and I know we still JQ. I know everyone likes the Packers. But again, until you knock them off the perch, I still think the Eagles are probably, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say that, Gary, they're definitely favored to make it back.
The one thing that concerns me still about the Packers, do they have enough weapons on offense?
Yeah.
I think their defense is going to be one of the better teams in the league. But come playoff time, do they have a guy on that offense that just strikes fear in their opponents? And I don't know if they have that yet. So that's the thing that I think Green Bay could hold almost any team in the league to 20 or 17 points. But do they have enough offense that's going to strike fear? And to me, I still would like to see somebody in that wide receiving core step up and, be a big-time playmaker for them. Not sure if they have that yet. So even though they beat the Lions week 1, I think the Eagles and the Lions are the two teams that still strike fear, in my opinion.
When we talked about it, I think they have the two best rosters, definitely in the NFC to me. I also think that we keep talking about it, and we can't call them underrated anymore. That Rams team gave them all they wanted, and they've got as well. Green could go back to Green Bay. I think it's more than just that, dude. Jordan Love is too up and down for me. He'll come out there and he'll look and he'll like, damn, okay, he's taking a step, and then he plays like that, and you're like, Jesus, Jordan. But I think they may have that dude, Rob. But I think it's their tight end. I think it's Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, he's played well.
I think it's Tucker Kraft, and I think everybody gets enamored with, hey, you've got to have the wide receiver, but you can look up and I know Baltimore hadn't won it, but Mark Andrews was their number one wide receiver basically for a lot of years, and they had a lot of good success of still getting deep playoff runs. You look at Kansas City with Travis Kelce. Like, at one point, do they not say, hey, we got a good thing with Jacobs running the ball. We got some dudes that can some separation on the outside, but are we using them as a decoy so Tucker can just roam the middle of the field and do what he's doing and let him be our de facto number one? I don't know if they're willing to make that, especially since he drafted Buddy out of Texas for the first time drafting a wide receiver forever in the first round. But I wonder if they will actually look at him and say, hey, man, that dude's the most consistent one of all the teams to catch passes. It's Tucker Kraft. What do we do to highlight him?
Well, it's going to be hard for the Eagles. I mean, the NFC I think is wide open. When you've got Detroit playing well, depending on injuries and things like that. Green Bay, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, these teams like that are well coached and can go in, they can run the ball. Detroit's scary because they'll go for it anywhere on the field. So it's hard to get back to the Super Bowl. They're one of the teams, but I don't think they're just a shoe-in to get there. Absolutely not.
No, you know what's crazy? Because we had all the hype after last year. Nobody has talked about Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. And look, I mean, they whipped the Raiders even without Jaden Daniels this past weekend, too. So, I mean, obviously, when Daniels get healthy, they'll still be a problem. I mean, they got Terry McLaurin, Yeah, Demo Samuel was about 2 biscuits away from being a defensive tackle, but he can still he can still contribute here and there. But
That's a
y'all
good
know I'm not lying.
analogy. That's one of your best.
Come on, Booger. Remember when he said that
one of the
about
best
Kelvin Benjamin?
analogies,
That he
right
was a Popeyes biscuit away from being a tight end?
Who was that?
Booger McFarland, when he was talking about Kelvin Benjamin.
Oh, really?
He said he was one Popeyes biscuit away from being a tight end.
I didn't even hear him say that.
Oh, I was watching that live. I was in tears. Like, come on, Booger.
Oh, Booger's a Louisiana guy, so of course he's gonna talk about Popeyes.
Listen, that was exact words. I said, "Damn, that is rough. You ain't gotta do that, man, like that on national television."
Yeah. Booger lives in Tampa. I've seen him in Tampa a few times. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. But yeah, I mean, you can't take the Commanders lightly too. When Daniel just get back, McLaurin, and
the Rams are another team. I mean, these are teams that
I like the Rams.
Match up well against.
Yeah,
and can beat them.
Yeah, I put
on a given day.
I put the Rams, the Lions, the Packers, the Bucks. Those are kind of the NFC right now. So that's a good, solid. We'll kind of see how that plays out. That's why I have
Detroit.
Yeah, I had the Lions, the Eagles, the Packers, the Bucks, the Rams. That's what I had as far as like top teams in the AFC right now. So and you're happy that I left out the 49ers, but I don't know what's happening with Mac Jones and what's going on with Brock Purdy, but they're on the outside looking in. But yeah, good stuff. Let's talk about this. The Giants are rolling with Jackson Dart, and this was expected after the dreadful play of Russell Wilson throwing some uncatchable passes in the red zone, and this may be the end of the career, right, for Russell Wilson. Just the decline, and after with Sean Payton, and he just kept going in the decline, and with Steel, it's been going downhill, man. So the Giants are 0-3. What the hell? You might as well. They're playing against the Chargers, so I don't think it's going to be a win, but at least he's going to get some experience. If you, things have happened, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be. They're not going to pull this out.
This is what the fans in New York want. They want to see Jackson Dart. They want to see what he can do. And I thought he was the most impressive rookie quarterback in the preseason. Even, I hate to say it, but even more than Cam Ward. It is preseason though. I mean, make sure I clarify that it was preseason. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. And yeah, for Russell Wilson, man, just go and retire, enjoy your life with Sierra, go do some television or something, man. And yeah.
Anybody heard him on TV?
And I hope he gets his shit beat right out of him.
Man,
Jackson Dart. Well, as a Cowboy fan, I hate the Giants.
Sorry.
Listen, you know what? I feel like when you have Jameis on the roster, like you don't need him to be that much reason now. Jameis can be because that means he's getting cut. Like if you're going from 1 to 3, and my other piece is, then why sign Jameis? Right? Like if you don't want to bring Jackson Dart along too fast, right? And you sign Russell and Jameis there, and by all accounts,
why you need 2 veteran quarterbacks? Yeah.
Why do you need 2, and why would you have him there and let him jump him and let Jameis still be sitting there? So then does Jameis stay the 3 and Russ stays the 2? And then at that point, it's like, then why didn't you trade Jameis when all these quarterbacks went down and get something for him? Because I don't understand having both of them on the roster. It still doesn't make sense to me. They signed them both. But if you're going to make this move, are you punting already on it? Like maybe Jameis comes in and just plays well, and Jackson can sit for a little while and learn from Jameis, right? Like I don't understand.
Don't want to learn from Jameis.
Desperation. It's desperation, JQ. It's a desperation move because
they said that Jameis is loved in that locker room. So
he is. Everybody loves him. Even in New Orleans, they love him.
You don't want the interception piece of it, but you know what I mean. Like what is the point of having Jameis on the team? If Russell sucks and it's week 3, you're not going to give Jameis a couple weeks to see if he can maybe make y'all seem like a contender. Like, damn.
Do you think they'll have this kid on a short leash?
The fans want Jackson Dart. This is we talked about this, how these franchises give up on quarterbacks. A lot of that's driven by the fans.
Yep.
And the fans want to see Jackson Dart. So the Giants are going to give them what they want so the fans can come in the game and be energized at least for a couple of weeks.
Well, they're
until
putting
they
him
realize
right into
maybe he's not ready.
You know, they couldn't wait until they were playing the Cowboys again or
They
something.
play the Saints the week after, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They could have waited a week. You could have put Jameis in. That's why I was like, I don't understand what Jameis is, unless he's just there to be a good clubhouse guy. Outside of that, I don't understand it because you're not going to go back to Russell Wilson.
Well,
you
got to remember too, they signed Russell and Jameis before the draft, so they obviously didn't know they were going to be in position to draft a quarterback, and so they kind of made those moves before the draft. But you're right. To your point, though, they could have probably traded one of them and got something for. So I do agree with that. But they did sign those two guys before the draft.
No, I mean, I didn't understand getting both of them. Even before the draft, I didn't understand why you would need both of them. Because one of them ain't going to want to be the backup. And now you can't go back to Russell. You might as well let him go. Unless Dart and Winston get hurt, you can't put Russell back in. The fans going to boo him as soon as he come off the sideline.
Russell should just retire, man. Like Herman would say, get out.
Gary, hey Gary,
I'm not turning down this check.
Basically pushing all your chips into the table. You're like, hey, Jackson Dart's my guy. It's a desperation move. Brian Dable may not even be there to even develop him at this juncture. So you talked about it earlier, how you have organizations that have a plan. And, Robbie said it earlier, at this juncture, you're seeing Daniel Jones look a lot better. I mean, I'm not saying they want him back, but it's like if he's surrounded by a team that has the right pieces and that has a plan, it kind of shows you exactly how.
Well, Dart's not playing. You're right. Dart's not playing for that organization that has a plan, as we've all talked about right here.
Yeah.
With the quarterback situation, with the two veteran quarterbacks.
Jameis should be like leading. He should be the one. Learn from this guy. Nope. Here you go, Jackson. Take the key to the car. Yay!
And not wait a week. Not wait 1 week.
No. So you hope it doesn't destroy his confidence, because I don't think it's going to be win versus the Chargers. I'm sorry. The
Giants at home this week, right?
They are at home, but still.
That's why they're making a move, because they want the fans to come to the stadium energized.
But you see what we're talking about.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think that's the reason why.
But JQ said,
there's the answer.
That could have been next week, but again, like you talked about, you don't hope that his confidence gets shaken because, again, unless you have this dynamic plan to run the ball and protect him, I don't know what's going to happen with it's not going to be a win. They're going to get excited, but it's not going to be a win.
Yeah, I just don't understand James's point on the team if you're going to do that, just to bypass them.
Yeah. Let's get to these predictions, guys, as we kind of continue on here. We've got some good games to pick. We got the Seahawks at the Cardinals, and again, right out the gate, I don't have many. I got on the show late, but I'm just going to pick the Seahawks at this juncture because
that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I'm picking the Seahawks in this one.
I agree. I'm going to go Seahawks on the road in this one. This is a Thursday night game. Normally I don't pick the road team on a Thursday night game, very rarely. But the Seahawks is whipping the Saints' ass so much, man. Their starters was out in the third quarter, so they're going to come in this game well rested. And the Cardinals don't have James Conner, even though Trey Benson is not a bad back.
I heard
as well. So the Cardinals coming off of a tough game with the 49ers, tough loss by losing by 1 point.
Yep.
And I don't think this Arizona team is that bad, but I do like the way Seattle is playing. I just like the way they're pounding that rock. Yep. They're getting completions after completions, and their defense is playing really well. I just like the way Seattle's playing. I'm picking them on the road.
I agree. Now, watch Arizona try to give that game away to Carolina in Arizona. And then you just lost to Mac Jones in a very physical contest in San Francisco now on a short week. And like you said, Seattle was just out there bullshitting that second half of New Orleans. They were just trying to get to the finish line. It was open. So I agree. I mean, it's rare to take a road team, but in this instance, I'm just not sold on it. And at some point, Jersey, we got to have a conversation about what's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
You watch other wide receivers come in and dominate out the gate for their team going first round. And listen, if he was getting open or they were singing, he would have more targets. Minnesota was like, why is he not getting targeted more? Part of that is on his connection or lack of separation. So we're getting to a point where we have to have a conversation about whether or not he's a bust in Arizona.
This is really kind of a pick'em game for me because I've watched these two teams play each other over the years so many times, and I've been wrong so many times on this game. But I am going to go ahead and go with Seattle in this game because I think that if Seattle wins this game, I think they got a good shot at winning their division.
All right.
Or being right up there to win their division.
I think it's going to come down to the Seahawks and the Rams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to. I know the 49ers is undefeated in the first place now, but at some point, those injuries, the 49ers are going to catch up to them. Not having Bosa on defense, and some of the other injuries, Kittle's out, of course, no Brock Purdy. At some point, that's going to catch up to them. I think the Seahawks and the Rams is going to be the top two teams in that division.
Agreed.
So give me a score on this game, on this Seattle game, Rob.
Oh, I'm going to go 24-17 Seattle.
Rob, I actually wrote that down. I actually wrote 24-17. That's what I was literally going to say.
I wrote 23-20.
I wrote
21-17.
I literally wrote that down.
What you say, JQ?
21-17.
Okay. So
we
it's
all
all
the same
within,
ballpark.
Yeah.
I literally wrote down 24-17, Rob. That's nuts. You literally wrote that's crazy. This is the game that I think is an interesting picking game, Gary. I hate to put JQ on the spot because I know he loves both of these teams. No, you got the Vikings at the Steelers. I know JQ wants the Vikings to kind of pull us off. But what's your assessment? Carson Wentz, Kevin O'Connell, we talked about how he's been a great quarterback coach. Brian Flores defense, going against Aaron Rodgers, old ass, and it's at the Steelers. So are the Vikings going to be on that high, if you will? Is this one of those games like we talked about, or is this a game where there's some get back?
I think, as much as I hate to say it, the way that the Ravens and the Steelers defense has been getting roasted, and rightfully so, for the amount of points and yards they've been giving up, that there's going to be it's going to be some hell to pay in practice and film session this week. If I'm Minnesota, you're glad you beat the brakes off the Bengals this past week, but you don't want to go into Pittsburgh, given what's taking place. You let Seattle come in there and do that to you a couple weeks ago. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
I agree. I'm picking Pittsburgh too. At home, I thought the defense played better this past weekend against the Patriots, and the Patriots actually have been running the ball pretty well. So it seemed like the Steelers made a lot of adjustments this past week in that game. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I really do. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. But I'm going to go somewhere like 2017 Steelers winning by a field goal in this one.
I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. I'm not a believer in the Steelers this year, either offensively or defensively. I'm taking the Vikings on the road.
I hope you're right. By the way, I hope you're right, but I'm just going by. I have to give them some level of respect. Most of the time, they don't lose at home. Now you're saying they're going to lose 2 home games in September. That's very un-Mike Tomlin-like.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, it's tough to they played well. Carson Wentz. I mean, you do
turn the ball over 5 times. It's not hard. So I mean, let's
fair. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to pile on JQ. That's kind of
no. I'm just being honest. It's a lot easier to come in the backup. Another team just are giving you 2 return touchdowns in the first half. That sets you up for success. I don't think that's going to happen in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Gary, I was kind of leaning towards you, but it's weird because I really don't know how to pick this game. This was the pick 'em too. I mean, I can go either or. I normally would say Steelers because it's the home team. Because I really would, I don't know enough about what's happening with the Vikings. Were they lucky that week, or just, what the hell's going on? They lose Adam Jones too, or what's his name? They lost somebody too, as far as running back too. If I'm not mistaken too, right?
You see Adam Jones?
Adam Jones. Who am I thinking? Not Adam Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I was one of the Jones boys. I'm bringing back to
Jones boys.
Back in the day, boy, man. Shit. I apologize. Eagles at the Bucks next game. I hate the Bucks right now in our division. I hope the Eagles whip them. I'm sorry. Come on. They've been getting lucky.
You hate the Eagles too, I thought.
I hate the Eagles too. But just because it's in our division, the Bucks need to get a loss under their belt, man. But
I think the Eagles beat them. I think the Eagles go on the road and give the Bucks the first loss this year. We don't know what Chris Godwin's going to look like if he plays, and of course Tristan Wirfs may have some rust shake off too. And I just like the way the Eagles are playing. I like their mentality right now. I think they're going. I think it's a competitive game, but I like the Eagles to go on the road and get this win. I'm going to go 27-20.
I had 20, 28, 24 for me. That's what I
would have been tempted to take the Bucks if Mike Evans was healthy. So now you're talking about Mike Evans being out, Wirfs being rusty. You don't know what's out of Godwin. I do like K. Dotton tight end. Except for given how talented that Eagles roster is, I think you need to see him there full strength and still be a battle. Not having Mike Evans when you say, hey, okay, to your point, I know Godwin's rusty. There's no Mike Evans. I can shade all my coverage over to Mbuka. And then what are you going to do, Tampa? Would be my game plan if I was Philly. I'm going to double that guy because he's the one dude out here right now I know who can beat me. Everybody else is either hurt, just coming back from injury, and probably not in football shape.
What's the score, JP?
Come on, Bucks. Please. You know how much I hate the Eagles.
I think 30-20 Philadelphia.
Okay. Gary's picking the Bucks.
27-24 Bucks.
All right.
See, that's
Baker just gets just enough.
I hate both teams. I really hate, but it's like a slight. I just the Bucks, man. They got to get a loss, man. They've been surviving too much, man. That just kills me.
Listen, they had Mike Evans healthy. I think I might have taken the Bucks, but without Mike Evans, that's a big blow. You can change everything you do on the back end without Mike Evans back there.
Yeah,
Bucks are at home, so that's
I probably would take the Bucks too.
Yeah. All right. This is another interesting game. And again, you got the Colts at the Rams. And does the Buck stop here with Daniel Jones? Is he kind of like coasting? He gets to a rude awakening with the Rams. Gary, I know your dad back in the day, a huge Rams fan. So this is the time, the luck stops, right? This is what's going to happen. You think?
I believe his luck is going to run out.
Andrew Luck back in the day, love it. Okay,
and I don't think it's going to be. I don't think this is it's probably going to be a 7 to 9 point victory for the Rams. Maybe 9. Maybe 9 point victory.
I was going to go 10. I think it stops now. That Rams front four is a problem, and they have not seen that yet. We thought they were going to in Denver, and they didn't play up stuff. I know Indy has a good offensive line.
Let's go.
But that Rams defense, that front four is solid, and then you also got to deal with Matthew Stafford slinging the Naku and the fucking passes.
I'm
going with the Rams. I think it's 10 to 14 points.
I'm picking the Rams, but I think it's going to be closer than you guys think it's going to be. I think it's going to be 27-23. I agree. The Rams got a great front four, but the Colts also have a great offensive line. So I think this is going to be a very good game to watch in the trenches. I think the Colts going to be able to move the ball on the Rams. I just think they're not going to be able to score enough points on the road. I'm thinking more along the lines 27-23. I think the Colts definitely keep this game competitive.
I'm going to I'm going to say that it keeps going. I'm going to go with the Colts. This is a game. This is a big game.
That's
for
the hometown Indianapolis coming out.
You know what? You know exactly what that was.
This is a prove me. This is a prove me game for Daniel Jones. This is the game that's going to prove me.
Right. This is when he fails them. Okay, yeah.
We'll see. Right. So that's some reason why. Now I think it's going to be 28-27 Colts, but I can see it going to Rams. But I just think this is the game. If you want to become legitimate, this is the game that you have to kind of get. So, I could use
prove a game in the same sentence and then pick Daniel Jones. That is wild.
I know. It may come back and bite me in the ass, but I'm telling you, confidence is high. I'm going to be very interested in seeing how this game progresses for sure. Last game, we got the Jaguars at the 49ers. Mac Jones. This is another one of those situations. Is Mac Jones that dude? And then Trevor Lawrence. What the hell? What's going to happen? Is this the game that he should come in there and handle business? But what's going on? What say you, Rob?
I'm going to say the 49ers find another way to win.
I got 49ers too.
They go 4-0 in this game. I think it's going to be another kind of game like they won over Arizona. I'm going to say 17-16.
Wow.
And find a way to win this week over Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville keeps the game competitive, but they fall short by 1 point.
I hope you're right.
Kyle Shanahan keeps the game close, and they win by nail biter.
Because I want all the AFC teams to lose. But
I want the as a Cowboy fan, you hate the 49ers.
Of course you do.
I do believe the 49ers are probably going to win this game. They're going to find a way to win an ugly game at home. But I am rooting for the Jags so hard. I'm going to put
root for the Jags
every ounce of jinx I can on the 49ers.
But my thing about it is just, if not now, when? No Kittle, no Bosa, no Purdy. Juwan Jennings is hobbled. I mean, if you can't win now when you just spent that money to go move up to go get
Travis Hunter,
and you've got Thomas on the other side. ATN has not been running the ball badly, and the rookie they drafted has been a good 1-2 punch. If not now, when?
Yeah.
For the Jags?
Yeah, if not now, when?
Maybe never, because they're that team that is going to as we talked about, as I'm talking to you guys with a somewhat straight face with the midst of what our teams have done. The Jaguars have not been that team that has really ever overachieved. They've always underachieved.
You see Liam Cole tell him to hit him in the chest. He's like,
it's the organization,
I got you. Man, that's
a down to their competition.
That's a banged up.
Well, they got a new coach this year, so you got to see what he is able to do with him. Yeah. So you can't judge him based on what the organization has done in the past. So obviously they got a fresh start. They got a new head coach, so it's going to be interesting to see. I think the Jaguars got a chance to be I think they're going to be in a lot of games this year. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team just yet, but I don't think they're going to be an easy out this year.
I'm just saying you got a really banged up 49ers team.
Okay, so you're picking the Jags then, right, Rob?
No, I already said I'm picking the 49ers, 17-16.
I know, but you're kind of talking yourself into it almost. I was giving you a chance to change your tune.
No, I was just saying we can't judge the new guy based off of the past. That's
but he's still got the same players. He's still a lot of the same players, the same team. So, yeah, you got a new coach and he's got a new philosophy, but these guys still have their underachieving ways from their starting quarterback all the way through. So,
can he get these guys over the hump, though? You never know. We talked about guys. We already talked about how quarterbacks – we've seen a trend now where a lot of these quarterbacks are getting better in their 4th, 5th, 6th years. And Trevor Lawrence was
all those quarterbacks that we talked about.
He's got the talent.
Right. But Rob, all those quarterbacks that we talked about did what? They went to different organizations.
Yep.
They didn't stay at the same organization and all of a sudden become lights out. This is the same organization.
Coach. So we'll see if that's the difference.
Yeah. Let's all right, what's the picks here? What's the pick, Gary?
I'm picking the 49ers. I have to. I don't want to, and I'm going to be rooting for the Jags.
I'm taking the Jags.
Okay. So I've got 2017 for my score.
Oh, JQ's right.
And JQ's taking the Jags. You have a prediction, JQ?
Oh, it's going to be something stupid like 18-15.
Okay. Yeah, I got 20-17 for me. Gary, you have a score?
I got 17.
You know what? I'm changing. I'm going with JQ. I'm changing my pick to the Jags.
All right.
After all this about the organization and how awful they are, their history and all this kind of stuff, you picking the Jaguars.
17-15. I don't want to put any bad mojo on them. 17-15.
All
Just
right.
talk about the track record and
That's the only thing
Trevor
that
Lawrence won't be good until he leaves the franchise.
And he does it right. And I'm not going to pick the Jags on a regular basis, but I'm saying you're talking about a crazy banged up San Francisco team. If you can't beat that San Francisco team right now, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Hey, I picked Jacksonville last week over Houston. And they beat them. I mean, they were at home. I did pick Jacksonville last week.
Yeah. All right. Let's fire these last topics pretty quickly here. I do want to talk about a couple of things here. The couple of things happened pretty quickly. We talked about Mike Gundy, John Matier, a couple of things you can kind of talk about real quickly, guys. We'll go through some predictions, and then if you want to talk about Napier and what's happening, so we can kind of fire those real quickly too. And Van Fleet was out too. That's going to affect the Rockets, which is crazy. But let's kind of hit really quickly. Anything about Gundy being out? Is that
it was time for him to go? The NIL, he didn't want to do it.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm a man. I'm 40. I can't believe that was 18 years ago yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. It seemed like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
After me, I'm a man. Yeah, that was
wow.
Classic. He actually said that made it worse, believe it or not. Anything on that, Gary, you want to add to that or no?
No, let's go to our college picks or our top 5 or something like that.
Let's do the picks here real quick. Let's do the college picks here. I'm gonna let you guys pick that real quickly. Man, I feel like I am trying to catch up with that. All right, picks for this. All right, right out the gate here. Start at the first pick here. Man, we got USC at Illinois.
Man, Illinois just got humiliated by Indiana last week, man. Fernando Mendoza, 21 out of 23, 5 touchdowns. Man, just had his way with Illinois. But I think Illinois responds this week. I think Brett Bielema is going to have that team ready to play this week. And look, I like the way the quarterback for USC is playing, Jaden Maeva. I stayed up. You can watch those West Coast games when you're out west. So I watched that game against Michigan State on Saturday night.
Or if you're retired.
The what?
Or if you're retired.
Or if you're retired, okay. And so, I like the way he's playing. I think offensively, I think USC is going to be good, but I'm not sure if I'm sold on their defense yet. And that's the only reason I'm going to give Illinois a chance to win this game. And we saw last year, the one thing we did see last year in the Big Ten is anytime two teams were close and they had to travel cross country, the home team won, right? You had to be significantly better than that team if you traveled cross country. So I'm going to give Illinois a 1-point win in this game, 29-28.
Did you just say you was worried about USC's defense and Illinois gave up 63 damn points last weekend?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with USC.
Well, you know how I feel about USC, so I am not going with USC. And my score is 23-21 Illinois.
Sometimes you get blown out, man. That's the coaches, man. They just light a fire under the team, and I think Bielema is going to have them ready to play.
But since when? When did he light fires under the team when they got whooped in Wisconsin? They got whooped again. Stop it! I don't know why people keep paying this dude money.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I'm going with USC as well, just because get that ass kicking of 63 points. That was not good, man. I'm sorry. Rob, LSU at Ole Miss.
I'm picking Ole Miss in this game, as much as I hate to say it. I'm going to go Ole Miss 23-20. That Chambers, the backup quarterback, man, he's a problem for Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambers, if he plays, or even if Austin Simmons plays in this game. LSU's offense has been a little off. I mean, I know they put up 56 points this past weekend, but that was against Southeast Louisiana, right?
Wow.
And look, I mean, LSU beat Clemson and Florida, and those two teams are 1-3. So I'm not sure how good this LSU team is, right? I think they contain Ole Miss, but I still think Ole Miss can put up some points in this game. So I'm going to say Ole Miss 23-20. When these two teams play, the games is always close. And look, Lane Kiffin is motivated because his daughter is dating Whit Weeks, linebacker, right? So he wants to beat his possibly future son-in-law in this game. Ole Miss is at home. I'm going to pick Ole Miss 23-20, and obviously I hope I'm wrong.
You're doing that reverse psychology bullshit.
That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah, you saw that too.
Said, you know what? We got to play in Oxford today. I'm so scared. Nobody says no shit like that. Stop it. LSU is going to win this game, and part of the reason why Florida and Clemson, I think, are on bad trajectories is because LSU put on tape that you can beat them up, and that LSU defense is playing really well. They just wait on the offense for it. And I've never been impressed. Listen, you know how I am. There are tiers to this thing, and Ole Miss is the tier below, and they want to be on a tier higher than they are, and it's great. And kudos to y'all for trying and achieving. Stop. LSU's gonna win this game.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
I got LSU too, 27-20 LSU for this.
I've got LSU.
You know, the Ole Miss is
27-23.
They find ways to lose games. You know they do. They find ways to lose games.
Rob picked against his school. That's hilarious.
Oh, that was all just for show right here.
There it is.
He's on the show.
Oh, that's how I see it. I hope I'm wrong, but that's how I see it.
All right. Hey, Gary, this is interesting. You got number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State. We know how much JQ loves Penn State, so we already know where he's going. But you know he loves James.
Probably pick Penn State. I'm going to be the only one that's going to pick Oregon. I think Oregon's going to go in there and hand Penn State a loss.
It's at Penn State.
Yep.
Why?
Yep. I know where it's at.
Country.
And it's going to be 27-24 Ducks.
Okay.
Listen, you already know I'm picking Oregon. I think that's more greater than Drew Allard. Dan Lanning greater than James Franklin.
Any scores? Any predictions?
I like the way Oregon's been playing this year. Dante Moore has been outstanding at the quarterback position, and he's in the Heisman conversation for Oregon. And, I mean, they got some players that's really stepped up. Sadiq at tight end has been playing really good for Oregon. He's working his way up to possibly being a first-round pick. What's the guy, the quarterback who can't hit the side of a barn? His younger brother plays for Oregon. He's an edge rusher.
Ukulele? Is it ukulele?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yes, Ukulele. How you pronounce his last name?
Yeah.
His younger brother is an edge rusher for Oregon. He's playing outstanding. So I like the way Oregon's been playing. Penn State hadn't played anybody. Penn State played Villanova, man. You only play Villanova in basketball. You don't play Villanova in football. Come on, man. Wow. How you schedule Villanova on your schedule? But I'm still picking Penn State to win this game.
Hold on.
Until the team can prove to me in the Big Ten that you can go cross country and beat a good team. Last year, I don't think we saw any team go cross country and beat a good team. And so I'm still sticking with Penn State, even though I liked it. Well, like I just said all of the good things about Oregon.
That's crazy.
But I'm going to pick Penn State to win this game 27-24 at home. Like I said, until
We've got the opposite scores here.
Until the team in the Big Ten can prove that they can go cross country and beat a good team, I'm going to still pick Penn State here. I know at some point it's going to happen. Some point somebody's going to go cross country and beat a good team, but it didn't happen at all last year.
When you going to make sure that Penn State can prove to you they can win a big game before you choose them in a big game?
Hey, they made it to the semifinals of the playoffs last year, so they obviously won a big game or two to get that far, right?
Okay.
So
things kind of fell into place.
Like I said, until somebody can prove to me in the Big Ten, and this is going to happen at some point. Maybe it will happen in this game. But until somebody can prove to me, somebody can go cross country and beat a good team in the Big Ten, I'm going to stick with picking the home team here.
I mean, JQ has always convinced me that James Franklin can't do anything. So, so I'm going to go Oregon. But
it's not convinced you of anything. James Franklin has convinced you that he can't do it.
So I'm still, but Rob does do a compelling argument about no one has come cross country.
Well, I hope my Buckeyes can do it on Saturday because we got to go cross country.
Well, Washington is not a good team.
Well,
I said against a good team.
True.
I said against a good team. Ohio State will beat Washington.
Hopefully.
I think that's the case. I think they're going to win. So Gary, I'm on the Oregon bandwagon. I'm going to go Oregon for this one too. So I'm going to try to go 27-20 as well, but I'm going to give them less points. But that's just, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. Maybe JQ's rubbing off me as far as James Franklin, but we'll see.
Stop
Last
putting
game.
that on me. James Franklin is making you think those things. It's not me. Blow it in all these big games has you thinking that.
Yeah, it's interesting. So we'll see. That's going to be another interesting game. Wrapping this up, you've got number 17 Alabama, the big one, at number 5 Georgia, 7:30 game. Alabama, is this the time where they get him, Cade DeBoer, or Gunnar Stockton kind of come through? What's happening for this one, Rob?
I like Georgia at home in this game. I'm not sure if Alabama can run the football, and you can't be one-dimensional against a Kirby Smart team. They're gonna, exploit you from that standpoint. Georgia's at home. I know Alabama's played better since the Florida State loss, but they beat all these directional schools and roast beef state and schools like that over the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go with Georgia in this game. They showed me a little something when they came back, beat Tennessee in that game. And I'm going to go with, I'm going to say 28-24 Georgia in this one.
You beat me to it. I think they proved something to themselves in that comeback against Tennessee. On the road, hostile environment, getting your doors blown off in the first half, stay with it, winning in overtime. I just don't listen. That mystique around Alabama is done for right now. Sometimes Alabama had teams beat before they even got off the bus, and I don't think anybody feels that way about this Alabama team. They also, I think, on the other side of it, now y'all ain't got Saban no more. It's our turn to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And until they find a way to come in there with a different mentality and play harder, stronger, tougher line of scrimmage against a for real team, and not to rouse points, not to lose schools in the court. Listen, I can't pick them until I see it happen. And at Georgia, in between the hedges, I'm gonna go with Georgia. I think Georgia wins this game by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And Alabama beat them last year, right? So Georgia's going to be motivated to play in this game. Ryan Williams with an incredible play at the end of the game. Jalen Milroe threw that bomb. So I know Georgia's going to be motivated in this game.
Yep.
Georgia 31-17.
I hate Georgia, but yeah, they're gonna come in until Alabama proves it. I'm going Georgia too as well. I'm going 28-17. There you go. It is 12-17. Good job, guys. Anything else you want to talk about? Hey, Rob, who do you think is going to replace Bill Napier in Florida?
That's a good question. Kirk Signetti, right? Does he stay at Indiana, or does he go to a school like Florida? More money, easier to recruit players in Florida as well. I haven't heard that name, but that was just a name that came to my mind. Eli Drinkwitz from Missouri, right? You go to Florida, you got players in your backyard. You're going to have the Neil money. Even Lane Kiffin, you can make a case that he can even go to Florida.
Wow.
A name that I did hear was Dan Lanning. Now, Oregon have just as much money as Florida is more.
Yeah.
But the key is the state of Florida has talent in their backyard. Oregon doesn't. Oregon has to go to other states to recruit.
But
I don't know if I see Lanning leaving.
That.
I don't know if I don't see Lanning leaving Oregon.
No, I don't think so.
Go to Florida. But I hear Jed Fish from Washington is another guy. Alex Golish from South Florida. But to me, I think they go with a guy that's from a big name school. I don't think they go with like somebody from like the Sun Belt Billy.
They can't do that anymore. They can't do that right now.
Yeah. They're gonna have to go and try to get a Lane Kiffin, a Kirk Signetti, a Eli Drinkwitz, or Dan Lanning. They're gonna have to try to steal somebody like that for them to be successful. Obviously, I don't want them to be successful, but they're gonna have to go with somebody like that to please their fan base.
The only way I think they can get away with South Florida's coach, wasn't it? Central Florida.
Central Florida.
South Florida. Alex Golden.
South Florida.
I don't know if he's done it yet. I mean, I'm with you only because if they had went with a retread big name instead of Billy Napier, I think they could do that. But now you're going to try to talk them into a buyout for him to go get another guy coming off the same kind of trajectory of the one you just had a problem with. Yeah, the Florida alumni are going to say, "We're Florida. What are we doing? Why are we going down this road again?" And whether it's right or wrong, we'll find out with the hire. But yeah, I'm with you, Rob. I don't know if Signetti is a big enough name for him. The Mannings, the other pieces you're talking about, I can see them shooting a shot. Now, whether or not you get them to leave is something different. I just don't know if you say, yeah, we fired Billy Napier and we cut Kurt Signetti as Florida within the Southeast. I don't know if that name is going to hold enough cachet for them.
But Signetti, you know a guy, you know who Signetti reminds me of though, believe it or not? Steve Spurrier.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's brash. He said, I've won a lot of football games, go and check my track record. He talks. And, he kind of reminds me of Spurrier a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
And, he possibly could fit really well down there in Florida.
I think the key would have to be another one of the things that not that he couldn't do it. I'm just saying if you are the Florida administration, you get rid of Billy Napier, you swung on the up and coming kind of guy, right? And it didn't work out. So now you know the fan base is pumping for the big name dude. I just don't know going into it if his name is big enough. I'm not saying that he couldn't get there and recruit Florida and change people's minds, but if you're the fan base, you help them, send money in and help Napier buyout. And then you come back with Signetti, they're gonna be like,
I tell you, a guy named these schools. I haven't heard his name being mentioned, but I think a guy people got to start considering is Fran Brown in Syracuse.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude can flat out coach. And, right now there's no black coaches in the SEC, and I watched a good bit of that Clemson Syracuse game. Man, he had his team ready to play. Yeah. It hurts that he lost his quarterback, Steve Angeli, for the season. And now he's got a backup quarterback. It's from Louisiana, from Baton Rouge, transfer from LSU, Ricky Wells. So he's a dual threat guy. So we'll see what he can do. But Fran Brown, man, he had his team ready to play. Stole a possession with an onside kick, set the tone in that game against Clemson in Clemson. So he's a guy that's had some success. And I don't think it's easy to get players to go up there to Syracuse either. But he's had some success. He's coached under Kirby Smart. He's from that Saban tree, and he's a guy that you got to start throwing his name around too.
Shit, well, I would say we get off here. You might have to talk about Dabo.
I like Dabo. I said Dabo for that. Remember, I talked about that last week.
Yeah.
But
they might just be a mutual, hey, you was great for us, but this ain't working right now kind of thing. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what I'm just saying in terms of Florida and the way Florida thinks about the program, they're going to want to shoot for a name like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that would be one that they could probably have a shot at. Really,
he's such a thin NIL transfer portal, so I don't know if you want to do that, but in terms of name cachet,
no.
Yeah, and that's definitely a good point. Yeah.
Rob, but it's funny how you brought back all the Steve Spurrier quotes, and the funniest one was about whenever they had the books that were burned in Auburn. He had 20 books burned. He's like 15 haven't been colored yet. He was like notorious for those comments in Free Shoes University. Man, on fire, man. We need that type of like trash.
Normally when guys start getting in their 70s and 80s, they can get away with saying everything. I tell people all the time, Steve Spurrier talked like that when he was in his 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
You have to wait till he got to his 80s.
He was ready to boy, and he was the ultimate, like he would talk shit, and he was like, yeah, my team's gonna back it up. Because he knew. He's like, come at me. I was like,
he's got a great steakhouse in Gainesville too.
Yeah, you needed that. Like, they came in like, okay, all right. He talking all that shit. And it was good for the
Spurrier, when he was the head coach of South Carolina, he called Dabo and he said, why the hell are we scheduling all these big time opponents in week 1, man, getting our asses handed to us like this? You losing to Georgia, and I'm losing something like I can't remember who the schools they were talking about, but he called that was me. Why the hell we scheduling all these big time games in week 1?
Listen, he was ahead of his time. He was a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He said you can't spell citrus without UT. Yeah.
Just a jackass.
Man, I remember when Steve Spurrier, if y'all go back and check out this press conference, when Steve Spurrier was introduced to coaches, watch Haynes King about to be on Sports Center, by the way, Andre. If you want to check that out. When Steve Spurrier was introduced as the head coach of the Washington Redskins, one of the reporters asked Steve Spurrier, you used to playing a lot of golf as a head coach in Florida in college. Are you going to play? The NFL coaches are normally in the lab for 19, 20 hours a day. Mm-hmm. So when are you going to be able to get your golf time in? Oh, I still plan to get my golf time in 20 hours a day and helping Jim Hazley down in New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I remember that.
You remember that, right?
I do.
And then Jim Hazley and the Saints, man, beat the Redskins like 40-something to 20 the next year. Hazley laid it on them.
Then he was like, there's no Vanderbilts in the NFL. Like,
material there.
Oh, man. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. Let's wrap this up. If there's anything you want to talk about real quick before we wrap this up? Skeens or Jason Tatum or whatever. Any last things?
No.
Gotcha. Wrap it up, bro.
Yeah. Wrong day.
Wrap this up.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. Oh, I'll be on vacation next week. I'll be out of the country. I don't know if we want to take a week off or return the next week.
You can take a week off. Yeah, because I got events Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be ripping and running, man.
All right. Well, America, we'll be off next week. We'll be back the following week. Stay tuned. It'll probably be, I don't know what night it'll be, but stay tuned. We'll catch up with you on the following week and let you know when we'll be back. But hey, we're going to definitely be talking a lot of NFL. Baseball playoffs going to be underway. NBA preseason is going to be underway. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. And so we'll have a lot for you, for sure. So join us in 2 weeks.
We'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the
about the country.
He's making funny, Rob. He's like, I'm out the country.
I'm going to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm going to miss the LSU Ole Miss game unless I can find a way to watch it on the plane. But I ain't worried about watching the Saints. That's trash anyway. I ain't missing nothing there.
I'll make sure I email you some updates.
Damn, see? They be all people.
That's what friends are for, apparently.
Yeah.
Everyone, have a great day. I'm going to leave you with this last quote from Steve Spurrier. He said, in Knoxville, they're doing cartwheels because they're 7-6 and won a bowl. Oh!
Yeah, he was a jackass.
Steve Spurrier say whatever he wanted to say.
Whatever came to mind.
That dude.
But 9 times out of 10, he backed it up.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, have a great rest of your day, your evening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right. Be safe, Rob.
All right. Good night, everyone.